Hello and welcome to the complete course of AWS SageMaker. In this lecture, we'll see how to build the model or how to train the model in AWS SageMaker by using a AWS SageMaker pre-built algorithm. Once the model is built, we'll see how to register the model into an endpoint, and then once the model is been registered, we'll see how to deploy it into an endpoint. Once the model is being deployed into an endpoint, we will also see how we are doing a predictions either in a batch format or in the real time. In a batch format, we have a data set which we are going to do a prediction, and that data set will call the endpoint and the prediction is happened. However, in the real time, what will happen, as and when the data comes, the prediction needs to be happened for it, right? So in the real time, whenever the data comes, then only the prediction will happen. So we don't have a bunch of a data set on which the prediction needs to be done in a real time. So whatever data set you have to do a prediction for that. Okay. In this particular lecture, we are going to do or build the model for a linear regression. So let's jump into the data set what we have. So we have taken a data set from the Kaggle. So once I'll scroll up and just give you an overview of a data set. Here we have a bike sharing system, wherein in a bike sharing system we have a data set where the people are able to rent a bike from one location and rent it to the different place as on the need basis, right? Currently there are over 500 bike sharing program around the world. So we have a data set wherein we need to predict it whether today, based on the certain parameters, my bike will go for a rent or not, right? So how my data set looks like. This is a data set what you have, and so before going ahead, I'll just let you know we have already divided a data set into a training and testing data set. However, for each month we have taken a 19 days of a data in a training data set, and the remaining data set or for a remaining day we have taken a data set for the testing data set, right? So by this way we have divided our data set, our training data set and the testing data set. Then, so how my data look like. So here we have data, we have a date time column. So here the date time column gives you an update of a hourly date plus a timestamp. So if you'll see on which particular date my bike has gone for a rent and what is the time, right? For if you'll see closely, for each hour of that particular day, so this is 1st January 2011, and for that the first hour we can see there are 16 bikes which have gone for a rent, right? After 1 hour, these are the conditions and my 40 bikes have gone for the rent, right? So this is the date and time data set we have. Apart from that, we have a season. So if you'll see, we have 4 seasons. We have a spring season, which we have already done the label encoding, right? So spring season is denoted as a 1, summer is being encoded as 2, fall 3 and winter 4. Now coming up to the holiday, my next feature, holiday, whether the particular date is an holiday or it is not, right? Similarly, we have a working day, so there might be the condition that situation that it is not an holiday, however it is a working day, or it might also be the scenario that it is not an holiday, however because of a certain scenario it would be considered it as a working day, like people would have come on Sunday on work, right? So that scenario also we need to take it on. So this is for a working day. Weather, yes, so we have divided the data set. The data set has been divided into 4 weathers. One is a clear weather, wherein we have a clear, few cloud, partially cloud and partially cloudy, so that we consider it as a 1. This 2 is mist and cloudy, mist broken. 3 is little bit extreme, that is a light snow, light rain, thunderstorm, whereas the 4th one is considered as an extreme weather, that is heavy rain, ice pellet, thunderstorm, mist, snow and fog, right? Now what is the temperature If you'll see them, the temperature in Celsius, the next one is a temp, that is the temperature over here. If you see temperature in Celsius, however there might be the scenario that we don't have that much degree Celsius, however you feel more temperature like, right? So that is a feel like temperature in Celsius. The next feature is the humidity. What is the humidity of that? What is the wind speed? And then based on this scenario, how many bike has gone for a run on that particular span of 1 hour. Okay, so in the next lecture we'll see how are we gonna train this model into a SageMaker. So there are the various steps that we need to look into it into a next step. The first step is we will pull this data from the local repository into a SageMaker notebook. We will be going to do certain kind of exploratory data analysis. Once exploratory data analysis is being done and the data is being cleaned, we will again divide this data set into a train, test and validate data set, and then we will push it into an S3 bucket. Now when are we going to do a modeling? We'll pull this data set from an S3 bucket using a Boto3 library or using a certain libraries which have a Python SDKs which can interact with the different AWS components, and then we will choose the pre-built algorithm, and once the algorithm is being chosen, we are trying to pull this algorithm from the ECR, and once that is done, we will train our model by using a different instance count or a different instance type. Once my model is been trained, after that we are going to deploy that model into an endpoint, and then finally we will be doing a prediction from the deployed model or from the deployed model which is having a certain endpoints. So that is what we are going to learn in this particular session. So hopefully it would be really helpful for you guys. Thank you. We'll see it into a next session. Thank you.